Assalamu alaikum, I'm Aisha and you're watching SAMAA News. Here are today's headlines. The US Senate has advanced a war powers resolution aimed at restricting President Donald Trump's ability to continue military operations against Iran without congressional approval. The measure moved forward by a 50 to 47 vote after 7 previous failed attempts. Under the resolution, any future US military strikes or extended operations against Iran would require formal authorization from Congress under the 1973 War Powers Act. Iran has warned that any renewed US military action could expand the conflict beyond the Middle East. The warning comes after US President Donald Trump said he came close to restarting military operations against Iran. Diplomatic efforts remain stalled, with Tehran and Washington still divided over key demands linked to sanctions, regional security, and the Strait of Hormuz. 3 supertankers carrying nearly 6 million barrels of crude oil are moving through the Strait of Hormuz toward Asian markets, according to shipping data. The vessels had reportedly remained in the Gulf for more than 2 months before beginning transit through a designated route. The movement comes amid continued regional tensions and heightened focus on the security of global energy shipments. US President Donald Trump, his family and businesses have reportedly been granted immunity from ongoing tax audits under a new directive from the Department of Justice. The move follows a major settlement involving claims over leaked tax records and has sparked criticism from Democratic lawmakers. According to reports, the directive bars authorities from pursuing further tax-related claims against Trump and his affiliated entities. US President Donald Trump has said on Tuesday that Washington is moving rapidly toward ending the war with Iran, claiming Tehran is eager to reach an agreement. Trump has said, "We're going to end that war very quickly. They want to make a deal so badly, they're tired of this." He added that the US hopes to resolve the conflict in a very nice manner, while ensuring Iran does not obtain a nuclear weapon.
President Donald Trump has said that Washington may strike Iran again if no agreement is reached, revealing he was an hour away from ordering a new attack before postponing it. Talking to reporters, Trump claimed Iran's leadership is now begging for a deal as pressure grows to secure an accord that would reopen the Strait of Hormuz and prevent Tehran from obtaining a nuclear weapon.
Iranian Foreign Minister Abbas Araghchi has warned that Tehran learned from previous attacks, and any renewed war would feature many more surprises. Araghchi has claimed the United States had suffered major military losses, saying the US Congress had acknowledged the destruction of dozens of aircraft worth billions of dollars, including an American F-35 fighter jet. Separately, Iranian Foreign Ministry spokesman Esmail Bakai has said that Tehran holds no hostility towards neighbouring countries and that negotiations with the United States were continuing through Pakistani mediation. During a weekly news briefing, Bakai has said that the United States and Israel posed a threat to the region and that regional countries, particularly the United Arab Emirates, should learn lessons from recent developments. He also said that Iran maintained cordial relations with countries across the region.
Iran has announced the creation of a new authority to manage the Strait of Hormuz, while the Revolutionary Guard said all fiber optic cables passing through the waterway would now require Iranian permits and supervision. Officials have warned that disruptions could impact global financial and energy systems. Qatar has said that there are no special arrangements in place for exporting energy products, despite ongoing disruption in the Strait of Hormuz. Foreign Ministry spokesperson Majed Al-Ansari said the closure of the waterway has complicated regional supply chains, warning that any blockade violates international law and threatens global energy security. Doha says only 2 Qatari LNG tankers have crossed during the crisis, while more than 10 fully loaded vessels remain stranded in the Gulf. NATO's top commander Alexis Grinkewicz has said that a planned US troop reduction in Europe will not weaken the alliance's defense plans. Speaking in Brussels, he said European allies and Canada are taking greater responsibility for regional security, while Washington adjusts its military presence over the coming years. Russian President Vladimir Putin has arrived in Beijing for a 2-day visit, where he is expected to hold talks with Chinese President Xi Jinping. Chinese Foreign Minister Wang Yi greeted him at the Beijing Capital International Airport. This marks Putin's 25th visit to China, with the two presidents set to exchange views on bilateral relations, cooperation in various fields, as well as international and regional issues of mutual interest. Cuban President Miguel Díaz-Canel has warned that any U.S. military action against Cuba would lead to a bloodbath amid rising tensions over reports that Havana may have acquired military drones. He said Cuba does not pose a threat to any country and insisted it has no aggressive intentions, but added that it would defend itself under international law if attacked. The warning follows a report alleging Cuba has obtained more than 300 drones potentially capable of targeting U.S.-linked sites, including the Guantanamo Bay base and locations in Florida. Field Marshal Syed Asim Munir says Pakistan's national progress cannot be derailed by propaganda, misinformation, or foreign-sponsored terrorism, reaffirming the armed forces' commitment to eliminating militancy. According to ISPR, he made the remarks during a visit to Quetta Garrison, where he addressed officers and faculty at the Command and Staff College and reviewed training standards. He stressed the need to adapt to modern warfare and emerging technologies, urging officers to enhance their skills to meet evolving security challenges. Munir reiterated that Pakistan's counter-terrorism efforts will continue with full public support, calling national unity a key strength. And at least 18 people have been killed in widespread flooding as torrential rains continue to batter southern and central China. Schools and businesses have been shut, transport and power supplies disrupted, while emergency crews evacuate residents from affected areas. Chinese authorities have launched disaster responses and allocated millions in relief funds as severe weather moves east and south.
That's all for now. For more updates, visit www.sammaa.tv. Thank you for watching SAMAA News.